Hello and welcome back to our video series covering the Everest Base Camp hike experience. Today we will cover our hike experience of traveling from Dingboche to Lobuche on day 7 of our journey. After staying for 2 nights in Dingboche, we were ready to start our journey, our final stretch to the Everest Base Camp. As you can see in this elevation profile, this is a 7.2-mile hike and we will be gaining more than 3,000 feet today. And at the end of the day, we will be at 17,000 feet. And to get to Lobuche, we have to cross this peak. This will be the hardest stretch for the day. It is in a place called as the Thukla Pass, and at the top of which there is a beautiful memorial for all the Sherpas and guides who have lost their lives on Mount Everest. Here, you can really feel connected to Mount Everest. We will learn more about this place in a bit, but before that, a quick summary of our journey so far. We started about 7 days ago from a place called as Thukla, and we went to Park Ding on the end of day 1, and then from Park Ding we hiked to Namche Bazaar through the Hillary Bridge on day 2, and then we stayed in Namche Bazaar on day 2, and then day 3 we acclimatized in Namche Bazaar, and then from Namche Bazaar on day 4 we hiked to a place called as Taboche, and then on day 5 we hiked from Taboche to Dingboche, and then on day 6 we acclimatized in Dingboche, and then on day 7 we are starting from Dingboche to Lobuche. Even though our bodies and legs were really tired, we were all excited because we knew that we were in our final stretch to the Everest Base Camp, our ultimate destination on this journey. If we finish our hike today in good physical health, we would have almost made it to the Everest Base Camp, which is a mere 600 feet in elevation away from the town of Lobuche. So, on day 7, after having a protein-packed breakfast, we started our journey to Lobuche.
This is day 7. We're trekking from Dingboche to Locuche.
Today, our view of Mount Amadablam would change. Widely considered as the most beautiful mountain in all of Asia, it is a constant companion on your trail all the way from Thukla almost to the Everest Base Camp. Till you reach Dingboche, you can see both the peaks of Mount Amadablam. But after reaching Dingboche on your journey to Lobuche, the view would change because Dingboche lies right at the feet of Mount Amadablam, and from Dingboche, the direction of your journey starts changing from northwest to almost eastward journey. Because of this change in direction of our journey and the location of Mount Amadablam and Dingboche, we are no longer able to see both the peaks of the mountain as distinctly as we were able to before. Here on the way to Lobuche, we come across a small settlement. This spot is great to take pictures against the backdrop of Mount Cholatse and Mount Tobuche, as you can see here.
That's our lunch at 15,000 feet. That's our lunch at 15,000 feet. On top of almost Machu Picchu mountain on the Everest Trail. It's equivalent to the top of Machu Picchu mountain.
After hiking for about 3 to 4 hours from Lobuche, we were finally at the base of the Thukla Pass, where we will have our day's lunch. In these parts, if you're traveling alone and if you don't know what you're doing, it is easily to get lost or even meet a worse fate.
This is where we have lunch on day 7.
At this beautiful location in a rather crowded hotel, we had some refreshments and a light lunch. After lunch, we started our most challenging hike of the day, which is to climb the Thukla Pass. The most challenging hike yet of the Everest Base Camp Trail was well worth it, because on top of this hill, there was this beautiful place called as the Sherpa Memorial. We are on top of the Thukla Pass. We have come about 1,200 feet over the steps. This is a memorial of all the Sherpas that have died on Mount Everest. It's a beautiful place. There's a memorial for a Sherpa by the name Babuchi. He is the world record holder for the most number of hours on top of Mount Everest and the quickest climb to the summit and 2 climbs to Mount Everest in 2 weeks. This is the memorial of Babuchi Sherpa. It's a beautiful, it's a must visit place. Beyond the memorial, it got a little bit easier, but it was still cold and wet. But before nightfall, we reached our shelter. We were soon served with our hot dinners, which we thoroughly enjoyed, and we regained our energy for the next day, which will be our EBC hike day. We also got Wi-Fi cards at the Lobuche Lodge, and this is something that's available throughout the hike that we can use to connect with our family members. And this is the view from our hotel. That night, we got strict instructions from our guide for the next day.
Before starting your hike, you have to gear up. So till now, let's say we gear up something to ahead, something to last observe. But tomorrow, we all have to try to be on time. Speed-wise, no problem. You don't need to rush. You can go slow. No. Yeah, your buddy, no. So you don't need to catch up the group.
My speed is not okay.
Yeah, same speed as today.
When you say you gear up,
Yeah.
after you put all these things,
Yeah.
we won't be able to eat, right? Because we're covering all this.
No. All jackets, everything.
Everything should
Yeah.
be except
Yeah. And one thing you guys have to do. One thing you guys have to understand, it's gonna be cold in the morning. Even now also outside here is cold. So tomorrow we'll dress up, down jacket also.
and slippery.
And no sleep. Get to headland. Headland, as much as
Evening while coming back, if you, but evening when coming back, if it becomes late, we may need a lamp.
So yeah, put it a day back. So normally what I do like this. One, two, t-shirt, this, and maybe this and this. Maybe I don't put this one too. Depends on the temperature in the morning. Normally it goes by like minus 10.
Minus 10.
5, 6 layers. And one thing is that we're getting sun only after the walk of like 1.5 to 2 hours. Walk is very important to know. Hat, full by me. Hat, down time.
Will it be windy in the morning?
This cap, right? Yeah. Okay, let's.
We have come a long way from Thukla all the way to Lobuche on the way to Everest Base Camp. This was our final stop before attempting our hike up to the Everest Base Camp. So we didn't want to take any chances. We went to bed early for our hike to Everest Base Camp the next day. I'll see you in my next video where we will cover our final part of our journey to the Everest Base Camp. Till then, signing off. Good night and goodbye.